That's it. That's it. It's over. I don't want to hear nothing else. Teofimo Lopez, the takeover, has officially lost his ever-loving mind. Teofimo is now claiming that Devin Haney is not black. That Devin Haney, you heard it right. Devin Haney is not black. That is his latest rant. In this video, I'm going to take you through it. I don't even know where to begin. So I guess the best thing I can do is to begin. Devin Haney said he's back in March. Teofimo, I made a video about it, said, "You're back in March, fight me, punk." Something like that. You Beezy, you punk Beezy, fight me. And then they kind of go back and forth, which leads me to this, where Teo is shockingly claiming that Devin is not black. And I'll enlarge it for you guys so you get a full picture. Teofimo Lopez says, "At real Devin Haney, you not even black. You light skin. Shut the ish up. Also, shout out to all my foes and fives, to my B's and to my C's. Got nothing but love, major love and respect. Hashtag federal, hashtag one love." Teo seems to be a confused individual. I don't even know what the end part is. You know, my foes and fives and B's and C. I don't know, he a blood or a crip. Is he that? Is he this? You know. I don't know what he's even talking about. But the man done lost his mind saying that Devin Haney is not black. This is just beyond the reach, beyond pathetic, and it looks very dumb on behalf of Teofimo Lopez. And I mean, at this point, I can take you through America's history, but I don't really want to. America's history is rich, some good, some atrocious and terrible. So I'm not going to do that. But the 3/5 compromise, the one drop rule. Let's start there. So the one drop rule, what that meant was basically if you had a drop of black in you, you were considered a n. You see it right here on Google. Therefore, the one drop rule or practice of hypodescent stated that any amount of black blood meant that a person was Negro and could not identify as white. Until the early 1800s, hypodescent ensured the continuance of slavery, since any mixed race child would automatically be classified as a slave. So Teo clearly doesn't know his history, and he's ignorant to that to even make a comment. In America, they came up with the one drop rule, meaning any amount, if you're mixed, if you light skin, dark skin, it don't matter, you were considered black. So he's on his own. Teo continues to say this insane rhetoric. He says he's vowing to make boxing great again, and he's not. He's claiming that he's the most influential since Floyd Mayweather. He's not. As far as him wanting to fight Devin Haney, which we'll get to Devin Haney, but I got to give Teo the business like he inherited it. What you're saying is dumb. I don't know what caused this. I heard different rumors. Some people said his ex-wife is with a black dude. I don't know. I haven't bothered to research that. I don't know what this disdain is, but there was a turning point in Teofimo's career where he started getting on this hype where a lot of his rhetoric seemed anti-black. And he would just, it was very racially charged. And I don't know, again, I'm not Teo, so I can't look within and decide what it is, but everything became racially charged. He said ESPN, they could keep the blacks. He was crying foul, saying that Top Rank and ESPN was favoring black fighters, which was stupid because I've dedicated my channel speaking for the underdogs, the blacks, the Cubans, minorities, or just anybody who hasn't been treated fairly in the sport of boxing. You guys know my pedigree, my body of work speaks for itself. And there's a common denominator where oftentimes the single groups like black fighters and sometimes Cubans, but all the time black fighters. There was never a moment since I've covered boxing where black people were given full credit from old media. Never a time. Never. There's never been a single year. If people were on a hated list, it always entailed and included black fighters. I remember Jim Lampley. You had people like Floyd and Andre Ward and Crawford on top, right? Jim Lampley decided to come up with the Arturo Gatti list. The Gatti list, which was a poor white man's excuse for celebrating fighters who have a rock'em sock'em robot. And I don't speak ill on the deceased like that. So rest in peace to Arturo Gatti. But he took a legendary fighter's name who was a warrior, had heart, and encapsulated this segment so as to not give credit to the Floyds and the Andre Wards, guys he would call and HBO would call boring. And he made this list to counter program what was really hot and these skilled fighters, because like he ain't going to get in the ring and fight Floyd or Lennox Lewis or whoever was popping at the time. So he had to counter program them some way. So he did it by creating a Gotti list, which was a list so he could start giving praise to guys who weren't skillful enough to be atop of their division or the sport. And he didn't have to focus. Like they had people like Glenn Tapia on the Gotti list. And some people at this point might not even know Glenn Tapia because he's kind of been out the picture. So Jim Lampley, he was definitely one of the grand wizards. So anyway, back to Teofimo, because I can really go on all day about this stuff. It's occurred in boxing. Old media been hating. Something changed in Teofimo where he started making these racially charged, racial innuendos and stuff, and he looks stupid. To say Devin Haney is not black. And I'm not – there's a lot of Devin Haney things that could be said, we'll say, right? And if it's true, I'm all for it. You could have said, oh, Ryan whooped you with the left hook. Oh, you're on the canvas. I've never been on the canvas like you that many times. There's so many, like in terms of Devin Haney, there's so many things that people can actually pull from right now that is truthful. You pick and land on the one thing that's cap and question his blackness, which is stupid, and it shows me that Teofimo is losing his mind. I mean, again, nobody believes you. You need more people. So I don't know what's up with Teofimo with all this racial crap that he keeps calling Crawford a monkey, Tank a monkey, saying Devin ain't black. You think that Eddie Reynoso can save you and Canelo, being part of Canelo's gym, can save you. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting your career. Period. They're not going to be able to save you from what you're doing to your brand. I don't work for Top Rank, but I would imagine that to deal with Teofimo has to be a nightmare for them. He's talking about, I want to buy myself out of the contract. He's clearly delusional, thinking that he's done the most since Floyd and he wants a certain type of money. And then let's say Teo's an employee. Like he don't have his own company and popping like a Floyd or something. He's an employee. Let's say you want a promotion at your job. Most people will be on their best behavior to get the promotion. Like I'm going to come to work on time. I'm not going to get any customer complaints. I'm going to finish my tasks in my work list. I'm going to improve sales in my area, whatever. That's what most people do when they want to get more money at their job. Teofimo is saying he's never cleared $1 million and he wants the bigger paydays because I did this and Heisman and all, whatever he thinks he did. And he's doing things that would do the opposite. You're going to lose fans talking this racial stuff. Top Rank is, why would they want to put you? Bob already told you he didn't want to put you on pay-per-view with Subriel Matias, which is a good fight. And see, that's the difference. Even if a person's racist or, you know, whatever's wrong with them, they're not my cup of tea. I give credit where credit's due. Teofimo, just like Kovalev, he said dumb stuff, acted dumb, wasn't really a likable person. They can fight. So Teo can fight, and it seems like you would build on that, but instead Teo insists on this rhetoric saying Devin ain't black and all that, right? Devin Haney responded. He said, Teofimo got some nerve to try to offer somebody something, but he out here begging. I told that ninja he gonna fight for peanuts as long as he with Top Rank, and I'm making real money. And then Teo says, tag me next time, you Mama Guevo. I mean, to me, that's kind of stupid to insult somebody in another language knowing they don't speak the other language. So using slang, and if I'm not mistaken, that's Dominican slang. Teo's not Dominican, so I don't even know why he said that. And neither is Devin Haney, but I digress. The bottom line is Teofimo has lost their mind. However, I will say this, Devin's responses weren't really much better. You're admitting that Teo is offering you something, and then you're talking about I make more money than you, you're making peanuts. Devin's tagline used to be, they say everything but let's fight. Coming off the Ryan Garcia performance, Teo's calling you out, saying fight me in March, and you're not giving him an answer like, yo, we can lock it up. I'll cancel whatever they're talking about my next fight is in March, BLK Prime, which is not going to be better than Teofimo, in my opinion. I don't care who you put. Until I've been proven wrong, which I won't be, BLK Prime has never put on a fight like Devin and Teo or anything greater than that. So I'm just assuming Devin's probably taking a tune-up or something lesser than. If I'm wrong, which I won't be, then I'll make an updated video. So Devin is actually, I don't know, I've already spent majority of this video talking about how dumb Teo sounds, keep the blacks, all this black rhetoric and anti-black and you not black. I've already went over that. But Devin is not making it much better because his responses were like, I'm just paraphrasing. He said something to the effect of, now Teo needs a black person to sell, but he's talking all this black stuff. That's not a good response. And the Haneyacks, y'all gonna pay. I told you, I'm gonna make it painful because y'all not keeping it real. Y'all hurting my sport. This is my sport. I'm the Batman of boxing. I'm the Bruce Wayne of boxing. And y'all making it bad. So Teo looks crazy, but Devin doesn't look much better for different reasons. Teo looks crazy with this insane black rhetoric and monkeys and all that, banana peels and all that goofy stuff he's on. And then Devin don't look much better either because a man's calling you out to fight and you're like, oh, I make more money than you. Teo needs a black person to sell. What's that got to do with the fight? Your tagline was, they say everything but let's fight, and now you doing it. Teo's calling you out. And then the Haneyacks fans, they're justifying this behavior, and they're saying stuff like, yo, Devin should never give Teo a payday because he's racist. Listen, y'all really trying to ruin my sport. Y'all ruin my sport with this garbage. If somebody's racist or dislikable, distasteful, arrogant, talking spicy, whatever, isn't that more reason that the fighter you like should fight the person and beat the brakes off of the person? What are we doing here, and what are we talking about where Haneyacks don't like Teofimo for obvious reasons? He's acting goofy and saying Devin's not black, which is blasphemous. You know, like, what part of the game is that where if you're light-skinned, all of a sudden that equates to you're not black? You're mixed breed or biracial, you're not black. And, I mean, I don't even want to go too deep into it because y'all too goofy if you believe this. Like, look at Meghan Markle, right? How they treat her. How do they treat Meghan being married into a royal family? Right? You've heard about it. And she's stupid light-skinned. She's the Duchess of Sussex right? And she's super light skinned. And I've read all type of reports that when she hooked up, first got with Prince Harry or Prince William, whatever, and they first got involved, people like turned their nose up at it and stuff like that because she wasn't white blooded or whatever. So come on, like, bro, what are we doing? What is being light skinned? They looking at you like a ninja, period. People talking about, oh yeah, but Devin's light skinned. Meghan Markle is lighter than Devin by multiple shades. And I heard some of the stuff that was going on behind the scenes when she actually hooked up with Prince Harry. So stop it. But back to Devin. The Devin part looks bad is the man keep calling you out. He's annoying. He's saying this weird, off-putting stuff. People want to see you fight him. It's a big fight. It's better than anything that is rumored for you. You know, it's not a Ryan rematch, but it's a very good fight against a champion, a chance to get a belt again with a credible name. And Devin's talking about, you need a black person to sell. I made more money than you. Bob's giving you peanuts. Okay, so this is why you guys are hurting the sport of boxing. Because collectively, it's a good fight. People would buy into the fight. But now it's just making boxing goofy. Now, you mean to tell me when two fighters don't get along, it makes more sense to not fight? Back in my day, when I first fell in love with boxing, that would be the exact reason why you would fight the person. Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales, different parts of Mexico that they represented. They hated each other. They were slapping each other at the press conference. Mike Tyson, Mitch Green, to the point where Mike's catching them lacking in the streets. Brooklyn or wherever, New York. Hi, me Mike Tyson, watch my fight with Peter McNeely on Cockcake. That's the prime, like, the game is so goofy, and I'm not letting y'all water my sport down. The game is looking so goofy where two people don't like each other. They've sparred before. They would put on a good fight. Now it's like, hey, I don't want to give you a payday because you're a racist. And the Haneyx is running with it like, yeah, that makes sense to me. Devin, never fight him. Never give him the paycheck. Let him starve, bro. I don't care who it is. Tank, Terrence Crawford, Devin, any of the ninjas. Somebody gotta get in there and stop Teo and put some respect. So he put some respect on the black fighters. You know what I mean? Straight like that. Anybody else saying anything else is goofy to me. Talking about you don't want to see it because you don't want him to give him a paycheck. That's precisely why they should. Because if you whoop somebody, it's a once and done. So their paychecks will be stifled after that. So to me, from the Haneyx, it shows a lack of true confidence because they're just telling Devin after the Ryan fight, hey, just bypass that altogether. Don't give him a paycheck. And then Teo, he looked goofy per usual, talking about black people again. So the game is looking in shambles, but fret not. Boxing Ego is here.